Alright boys, Draft League is an awesome format that I highly recommend to anybody who enjoys competitive Pokemon. One thing I often say that I think is forgotten with how good players are now is that everybody starts somewhere, including me. My first Draft League, that had close to standard rules, there were some others that did not have standard rules, was back in 2018. And this was the second season of NCP, a league that Obo and I ran that you guys might know. Like I said, I did some other leagues before this one, even NCP Season 1, but the rules were interesting to say the least. I could make an entire video going over those rules and how those seasons went if you guys want to, and I also have an old YouTube channel that I might link in the top right hand corner where I went through every single game and recorded my analysis on it. So a fun video could be going back and looking at those. Let me know if you guys want that. But my first draft that I truly count was not very good. The lore behind NCP, or National Competitive Pokemon, is it's a league that Obo and I created way back in my freshman or sophomore year of high school, and it was primarily just with high school friends. Most didn't really have any Pokemon knowledge, so having a little bit of Pokemon knowledge compared to the no Pokemon knowledge that they had already put me at a massive advantage, and I consistently went like 8-2 or however many weeks we did, 2 to 3 losses. Oh yeah, and Shuckle King was here for some reason, and he was already an established player and very good at the game, and nobody else was. We met him through our week 1 opponent, Scorp. I honestly don't remember how they're friends or know their story of how they met. Shuckle explained it to me recently, but I can't remember. And honestly, he dominated the league. It was nothing to him. I don't think he went undefeated. I think he had 1 loss, and I think it was a 15-week season, so he went 18-1 when it was all said and done. That could be an entire video on its own as well. But before we go any further, did you know that only 27% of my viewers are subscribed and you are in the 73%? It's okay, man. I'm not mad. I'm just a little bit disappointed, but if you want to help me reach my goal of 3K, which, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? You can go down there and hit that sub button right now. It is absolutely free and it really does help out. For my draft team here, I'm not going to go over every single pick, but my round 1 pick was a Z Tapu Bulu, and it was also headlined by Pokemon like Mega Charizard Y and what I think was Z Lycanroc, but I can't remember if I actually had Z on it, which is, to say the least, super underwhelming if Lycanroc Dusk was my 3rd best Pokemon. Week 1, we played Scranton, who actually had a very good team consisting of things like Zard Y, Thundy T, Weavile, and Celesteela. Going into the game, I led Mamoswine as Scranton led Celesteela. In frame 1, I'm already making plays. We predict him to switch out or something, I don't really know. We clicked Knock Off as my first ever move that I clicked in Pokemon, knocking off Selly's Akaberry as we do get Leech Seeded. I go in Polion and see double seeds and I end up getting my rocks up. And then I made maybe the best play that I've ever made in my entire Pokemon career. You see these 2 ground types on your screen right now. We got Nidoking, we got Mamoswine. Double ground, we have a fantastic Thundy matchup. So instead of going into either of those grounds that are probably built to take on the Thundy T, I go into my offensive centerpiece of this matchup. We go into Lycanroc and we get Psychicked. We are very lucky that he did not predict Mamoswine and Focus Blast. A lot of pivoting later, Lycanroc put up some insane damage as Scranton found out that we are banded and we were able to Accelerock into Florges and Celesteela. And then Scranton got into a position to where Thundy should have been able to kill Mandibuzz for free, but we decided to roost as he blew his Z move. And after that, he U-turned, so our Mandibuzz lives to see another day. I then make a sequence of 4 switches in a row on the floor, just really trying to nail down that positioning. And we sack our first ever Pokemon we've sacked in Draft League, Mandibuzz. I get Charizard Y in a position to force a knockout, but then Scranton does the same with his Life Orb Weavile, which does my team extremely dirty. I reveal a very clear Scarf Mamoswine to get the Weavile knockout, and then sack Nidoking to Thundy to get back in Lycanroc, my beloved. And we're able to knock out the Thundy, which actually looked pretty scary at this point in the game. And at this point, everything is just a sack piece to get Lycanroc in a position to win. I did this thing way early on in my draft career, and even as recent as Generation 8, where there was a Pokemon that in my head was the main character. And this is the guy that needs to get all the kills, and I tunnel and I feed all my kills to that guy. And this game, it's Lycanroc. This season, it's Lycanroc. So we end up sacking off a Pokemon to get Lycanroc in a position to lock Stone Edge to KO the Florges. And then I sack Mamo to KO the last 2 Pokemon with Accelerock. Was it the best play at the time? Who's to say, but we got it done, and Lycanroc put up 4 kills, I believe. Obviously, there were some less than stellar plays on both sides of this Pokemon game. But we got that dub in our first ever Draft League game. Honestly, this season was a blast. Lycanroc ended with what I want to say was the most kills in the league with 26 kills, and we ended up losing in semifinals to Shuckle King, who ended up winning the whole league. This season also made me fall in love with some staples that I still use to this day, like Nidoking and Mandibuzz. And unfortunately, this is the only time that I have ever gotten to use Mega Charizard Y, but that is a Pokemon that is near the top of my to use again list. Let me know what you guys thought of this game down below, and let me know how your first draft game and even draft league season went. And hey, if you want me to go back and do more games like this, or even finish this season in a video format, let me know down below, because I am more than happy to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for now guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.